G'day guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you the craziest Bitcoin explanation you've ever seen. So make sure to like and subscribe and let's get into it.
So what is money? Money is a technological advancement of commerce. 4,000 years ago, you owned a beautiful plot of land with great, beautiful olive trees, and I owned 50, maybe 70 cows. And I saw that plot of land. I said, you know what? I want that plot of land. You already have cows, actually, so you don't need the cows that I have, so we can't actually transact. So I have to go sell my cows for some pigeons because you want the pigeons. Now I come back, I bring you the pigeons. One of them dies, so I have to go back and get another pigeon. And then finally I get the plot of land. Now you have the pigeons, and you have to go figure out somebody that wants pigeons in exchange for you to get the next service or the next good. So the problem was with the bartering system, there was no ability to scale, no ability to build monopolies, because there was no ability to sustain wealth, and there's no medium of exchange that we both agreed upon. We introduced the next form of bartering, the next form of commerce, coinage. Coinage is a technological revolution. It was the first time that we all agreed upon what was something and what was the store of value. So successful merchants, kings, they began to hoard it. And they began to build treasuries. And now they began to conquer more lands because they no longer were limited by the limitations of bartering. You could take the coins, they wouldn't rot. You would sell the gold in China, you would sell the gold in India, you would sell the gold in Paris, and it would still be counted as gold. So now you had the ability for scale. The issue was now kings started realizing, hey, maybe I can shave a little bit off the top of the coin and make some new coins. And you know what? Maybe the people won't notice that I'm printing coins out of thin air. Maybe I'll add some alloy or some metal instead of the silver, diluting the currency. So they began to realize, hey, coinage now can be forged. So we need another system. Now people can no longer have their own system. We need to have something centralized. Everybody's managing on gold. The banks are holding gold. Let's get rid of the gold standard. Let's introduce paper money. Paper money, obviously, if you have, let's say, a kilo worth of gold, you can't be carrying that with your horse, hanging around in town. No, you have paper receipts that the bank gives you. And people began exchanging paper receipts. The receipts of what? The units of gold that were in the bank. But then the banks got cheeky. And they said, you know what? Nobody's checking our bank reserves. So what if we issue more paper than we actually have gold reserves? And the French noticed. Like, hey, these motherfucking Americans, they're printing more paper, handing it out to people than the gold that they have in the reserves. So they came in, they wiped out all the reserves, collapsing the economy. So what did they have to do? They had to introduce the gold standard. Getting rid of the gold standard. Why? Well, now we just can print as much money as we want, and it's not pegged by gold. And now we were introduced with paper. And then credit cards rolled around. Yeah, I still had to go into the bank and deal with paper, but I could transact and buy things with a piece of plastic. Okay, so now digital money was introduced. But now we have the battle of what is the digital money that we want to adopt. And in these new crossroads of technological advancement, you have something that's born known as Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the permissionless open ledger. Everybody knows how much of it exists, who owns what based off of, obviously you don't know who owns what wallet, but you know what wallet owns how much. Everything is open, everything is transparent, and everything is peer-to-peer. It's the purest form of going back 2,000 years and transacting gold bar for gold bar in a digital format. It is the evolution of money. It is the natural evolution of money. Now you have the old system, the banking cartel, that takes a fee off of us transacting. So what is the rule or what is the need of a bank today? What is the purpose of a bank? Well, Luke, the purpose of the bank is to store your deposits. No, a bank does not hold deposits. If they hold deposits, why do they give you interest on your deposit? It's not a deposit. The moment they give you an interest on it, it's a loan. You're loaning them money, they're giving you an interest, they're taking that money, they're investing it. It's not a deposit, it's a loan. Once they give you interest, that thing becomes a liability on their balance. What you're seeing displayed on your checking account is just a record of how much the bank owes you. So the purpose of the bank isn't to hold deposits. Well, the purpose of the bank, Luke, is to fractionalize money. Well, no, that's not the purpose of the bank. It doesn't fractionalize money. Well, what's the purpose of the bank? The purpose of the bank is credit creation. It creates loans. It's in the business of buying and selling securities. So the bank is in the business of credit creation, and everything around us is getting inflated and more expensive due to the fact that we're creating credit that is being utilized to buy Louis Vuitton bags. It's not productive credit. It's not credit that adds to the GDP. We enter a situation whereby the dilution of our money becomes so big that we no longer trust it. But now we enter a very dangerous situation. If we don't have an alternative payment system, the tokenization or the programmability of digital money, like a central bank digital currency, becomes very scary. Because now they don't want to just issue the currency, they want to control the rules as to how you can use the currency. So for example, hey, Riz, you've already spent, you know what? You spent 2 hours already with the light on. Now your light gets turned off because your curfew's up. And if not, we'll turn off your power bill and your cards won't work. Oh, you didn't get vaccinated? Oh, you went 5 kilometers past your house curfew? No worries, your cards just won't work. You have no freedom. Back in the day, at least you had cash, you could do whatever you wanted. So is that the system that you want? The answer is no. What is the alternative system to that digital revolution, that next advancement of money? In my opinion, is Bitcoin, digital currencies, things that are decentralized. So it's a little bit of how I've been thinking about and theorizing this idea of Bitcoin and rationalizing whether digital currencies, decentralized ones, fighting against centralized institutions are going to last. And I think people will fight for it.
Wow, that's probably one of the best explanations I've seen for the value of Bitcoin out there. So props to Luke Belmar, who is absolutely nailed this. Now, guys, make sure to go follow me on Twitter. So JoelZen1,
So what is money?
guys, I
Money
post
is a
a
technological
lot of gems on my Twitter, so make sure to go follow me there. But yeah, with pretty much what he was saying, we don't want to be holding cash because the government just prints cash out of thin air and it devalues our purchasing power, and that's why we see such high inflation. So we don't want to be in cash. Well, we want to be in assets that are scarce in supply like Bitcoin and other digital assets. Now, is Bitcoin going to be used to transact? Probably not, because its technology is old and slow, but what it is a store of value. And historically, it's always gone up every 4 years based on the Bitcoin halving. So it's a great hedge against inflation. Because the thing with money printing is when they print money, they need to print exponentially more each time. So inflation will just get worse and worse until the currency and then eventually hyperinflates. Now, looking at history, every fiat currency has always gone to zero, and the average lifespan of a world reserve currency is about 100 years, and that's roughly what the US dollar has been around for. So if I was holding my money in a bank or in cash, I would be extremely nervous knowing that the government's just going to print more money. And with the recent rate hikes, which are likely coming in September, it's very probable that the money printer is going to be turned back on very soon, which is going to increase the value of risk-on assets like Bitcoin, like other cryptocurrencies. Now, taking a look at the price chart, where is Bitcoin going from here? Well, we can see that we have been consolidating in this zone. And when the Japanese stock market collapse happened, we actually got a massive wick to the downside. However, that wick got bought up straight away, showing a lot of strength in the market. And I believe that very soon we're actually going to break out of this structure and make a move to the upside. And why do I believe that? Well, if we take a look at history, so let's turn on the Bitcoin halvings. Now, in the last cycle, we can actually see that from the point of us breaking out, if we actually measure it from the halving, we can actually see that it was around 168 days after the halving where we broke out above the local high and really went into price discovery. And if we take a look at the one before that as well, so let's measure this out. So about 160 days as well. Well, where are we in our current cycle? Well, from the halving, which was back in April, we are only about 119 days after the halving. So if we're looking based on history, we're not actually due to break out for another month or so. So we're exactly on schedule as well. And having a look at the chart, if we pull up our momentum waves, we can actually see that we're about to print a green dot on this momentum wave. Now, what typically happens when we print these green dots? Well, the last one, we did technically print a green dot, but it was negated by a red dot straight afterwards. But the times before that was right here. So I'm going to mark these out on the chart for you guys. So we had a green dot here. What happened when we saw that green dot? Well, we actually got a move of about 200%. Well, what happened on the green dot before that. And these are green dots below the momentum waves, just to clarify. Well, here we also got a move of about 150%. So we're seeing an average of around 150% move when we get these green dots print below the zero line. So this is extremely bullish, and based on the time frame, I would be expecting within the next month or so for us to start to break out and put in new all-time highs for Bitcoin. And it's only when Bitcoin truly goes into price discovery and breaks above the previous all-time highs, which is when your altcoins massively rip and the Bitcoin dominance drops, and these altcoins outperform Bitcoin massively as money rolls from Bitcoin into your other altcoins. So I know a lot of people are fearful in the markets with the current correction we've been experiencing. It has been quite long. It's been a few months now that we have been going sideways for, but this is not a time to be fearful. The most money is made in these fearful times because this is when you have opportunity. You're buying these assets at massive discounts, and the people who are buying in these fearful times are the ones who make the most profit and truly make life-changing gains in these markets. So guys, now is the time to be accumulating quality altcoins. And if you'd like to know which coins I'm accumulating, you can watch some of my other videos, or you could purchase my top 10 picks for 2024. But besides that, guys, that's pretty much all I've got for this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.